What's going on, guys? Well, I'm doing another video on Patreon. The first time I did it, it was a complete fail just because I missed some of the fine details of the rules and regulations. Apparently, you can't do giveaways on Patreon. It's just not permitted. It's in their, rules. Reason being, and it makes sense. I can't argue with the fact. I mean, even though I want to do it, it's a form of gambling. So they don't encourage it. Because people are giving money for a chance to win something that is quite literally gambling. So I get it, fine, whatever, I can't do that. I still very much have a Patreon page, which I'll link down below, and there are still many levels of how much you can give, but I can't, through their website, promise something in return in ways of a giveaway. Does that make sense? However, what I can do is let you know here that I will certainly find ways to thank my viewers who do that, who go the extra mile and contribute through Patreon. So without giving any details and without giving any promises, which is most important because you're not guaranteed anything other than supporting the channel, I will be sending out prizes. I will be sending out gifts as thank yous to people who, contribute to that. But again, there's no promises because I'm not allowed to make a promise of a chance to win something. But as I review gear and stuff, I mean, most of the gear gets traded off, but I have very much plans to, send them to people as thank yous. Knives, flashlights, different types of gear. Depending on how much, the person contributes, if I happen to think of that one in particular person and they contribute a lot, I will make sure that, if I send them something, that it will be, the proper gift for that amount. Does that make sense? So some of you guys understand what I'm saying, some might be confused, but basically, I will be thanking people with gifts, but there's no guarantee you're going to get something if you contribute. I can't do that. I can't promise that. What I did want to do was just have a specific, okay, if you donate this amount, you'll get this specific item. But that is so hard to keep track of, and I can't guarantee that because I don't know how many people are going to be involved with it, you know what I mean? So I don't want to not have something for that person. So hopefully you guys understand where this is going. I can't make any promises, but we'll certainly do my best in thanking people with actual gifts, actual gear, Zippos and stuff, and knives, and all kinds of things. Oftentimes I'll have certain things that I want to trade off, but then I kind of hang on to, and then I forget about, and then I rediscover. Those kinds of things would be certainly a gift idea for Patreons. But yeah, there's still many levels. If you guys want to contribute, you can certainly do so. It's still very much on. I'm going to keep it open, for as long as I can, and then money just goes back into the channel. That's all. I have the goals set there, and they're just ideas for goals. Basically, the money that's going to be, collected through Patreon is just going to go back in the channel, more than likely just with gear. It's going to allow me to be able to buy certain gear, but the gear that I buy with my Patreon money will go back to the Patreons that actually are contributing that money. Does that make sense? So if I make $100 and I buy a $100 knife, I'm going to take that knife when I'm done, and I'm going to send that to the Patreons, okay? But, again, no guarantee, because I'm not allowed to do giveaways through that website. So I want to make that very clear. See, I follow the rules, and some people said, well, wait, Jeff, I follow people on Patreon, and they do giveaways. It's not allowed. They're just doing something they're not allowed to do, and that's okay. Patreon might not, punish people for breaking the rules. They may not enforce their rules, but I don't, take chances. I don't gamble with stuff like that. Every possible chance in life for me to do the right thing, I try to do the right thing. I don't want to do something wrong just because, other people do it. You know what I mean? It's a wrong way to think. It's a wrong way to live life. If you can get away with stuff like, for example, here's a great example. I know that I could steal. I know that sounds dumb, right? Yeah, no, but I know I can steal. I see the weaknesses at stores and stuff, and I know I can get away with stealing, but I don't. Why? Because it's the wrong thing to do. I believe in karma on some level. If you steal some stuff, something else goes bad in your life. I mean, I just believe you should be a good person. I'm not perfect, but I try, especially as life goes on and I grow and I learn and I mature, you know, I try to do the right thing. And this is one of those examples where I want to do the right thing. I don't want to try to get away, you know, with doing giveaways through Patreon. So I'm not going to. But I will say that if you do contribute, that I will thank you somehow, sometime. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give you an update on that. I do have a Patreon page, and I do appreciate all the patrons who you know, support me through that. And if you don't want to do that, or you can't afford to do that, please don't. And that's the other thing too, is, you know, I've learned in life that the people who give the most usually have the least. It's not always the case. But the people who are donating to Patreon, they're not millionaires. They're not well off. A lot of times they're people who don't have a lot, you know, and they're the ones that give. I find that just in life in general. There's plenty of people with who are well off, who contribute and, you know, donate to charities and do good things for other people. Don't get me wrong. There's always an exception to the rule. But I just find that you know, the people who don't have it, they're the ones giving it, you know, because they can relate the most to people who need it or want it. And I don't need it. I just want it. And there's nothing selfish about that, by the way, for people who want to say it's ridiculous and selfish and how can you ask for money, how can you beg for money. I'm not begging. I am asking, because I can use the support just in getting the specific gear that I want to get and try and everything else. But the big caveat here is that I don't gain from it. The money that's used from Patreon for that gear will give back to the people who paid for it. Okay, and that's the biggest point I want to make here. But it allows me, what do I gain from it? Why would I want to do it? It allows me to try different things specifically that I want to try, as opposed to randomly worrying about what I'm going to get in trades and bartering and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sums it up. You don't have to do it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to support it. But if you do, thank you. I appreciate it a great deal. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.